Peaca Dungeon. Ah, Peaca Dungeon. I remember Peaca Dungeon. I've always hated it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It still is, and was, somewhat of a challenging dungeon. But that's if you're not using any of the new abilities and stuff in the game. There was this player, and their name was Zon for short, Zonderel, and they had a group for a time. Or maybe they just used to like hang out, like they used to just love hanging out in the dungeon in front of the statue. And every now and then they would get a group together to run Peaca Dungeon or Peaca Abyss Dungeon, which is just I think it's 4 or 5 rooms of just madness. But nowadays, you know, anything's a pushover. But back then, that was some challenging stuff, man. So, I gotta tell you this story. So, one night, we have this group of 8 people, back when you were able to go in with 8 people. And just the lag that night was atrocious. We go in with 8 people to get to the bottom of this dungeon. And just over time, we are just losing one person after another person to the lag. It was horrible. Me and Zon, we got down to the bottom, and it was me, Zon, and one other person. We got to the boss room, and our third person was claimed by the lag. This poor soul taken away moments before the boss. And it was just me and Zon. And I don't know how we did it. We got through the dungeon, but it was like 3 or 4 in the morning, and we were completely worn out from it. One of the goofiest things that had ever happened in that dungeon. I would like to tell you about this little place called Shadow Wiz Elite. Here's how you do some Shadow Wiz Elite. Here's the proper way to do it. First, you go to the board and get a party for Shadow Wiz Elite. Then you go to the pedestal for Shadow Wiz Elite. Then you open a party up and hope that 7 other people join in. Then, as you see on this map, there are several blue dots, but you go in and you go to this spot where there's a dot. And you attack this pillar, and it summons a bunch of enemies. And they're all over the place. So, if you're like me, just cast, you cast Fireball, or you cast Meteor. And then, after everyone's done them, and then there'll be one that appears in the middle. Everyone will meet up in the middle, and you have 2 options. You can either cast the big funny spell to kill the things in the middle, or the more popular option, where you if you actually did the story, you have a horn that you can blow. So you blow the horn, a dragon will come, and the dragon will shoot down a bunch of more meteors. And the best part about the dragon is that the meteors, they're not very helpful against the monsters in the middle, but they are effective at trolling your friends. And that is my guide on how to do Shadow Wiz Elite the right way.